Thanos was a hero, man. He had the right idea, obliterate half of mankind to be able to support the Earth.
You sound like Hitler explaining why.
Dude, Hitler. All right, well, here we go. Let's get this done. Not really. I'm excited. It's the first night podcast. Cheers,
brother.
All right.
Nice and synchronized.
And when we say night podcast, we mean it's 12:37 in the morning right now.
This is a late one for sure.
Yeah, definitely kind of intense. Well, it's okay because we got Jeffrey here. He's here to chill with us, and I'm excited.
Dude, this is our first full episode with Jeffrey the entire time.
Whole time. This is also our first episode with a lighting setup and a neon sign. So I'm excited to see this podcast grow a little bit. You know, we get our own.
Dude, I know.
Another segment in just one podcast. You know, so not many people really do this. So it's our first.
It's also weird. Weird being able to have a beverage besides just coffee in the morning.
I know, because this is our after hours. Hi, my name is podcast. So you know, it's a little more adult friendly. You know, so where we can have a drink, we can relax, hang out with Jeffrey,
dude,
and just talk and just have a good one, dude. So how have you been, man?
I've been good. We just had a little river trip last weekend.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. That was pretty good.
It was definitely brutal on the skin,
dude. The next day I was like so tired, and I was feeling kind of sick, and I still feel a little sick, but I'm just pushing through,
dude. Yeah,
and because we were supposed to film the podcast, and I was like, I can't. I was like, I need a break. I need to rest.
Honestly, it's a good thing because look at this. We're doing our first night one.
First night one, and the only reason we started to do the night one was because of work right now. I'm only available at night.
Dude,
so I was like, okay, well, we got to push the night podcast now. So we're just going to start it up.
Yeah, and it'll be separate. So on our channel, it's going to be episode 1 for us of the after hours.
Of the after hours. Who knows,
but we're still going to do the normals.
Who knows what's going to happen? You know, is it going to be crazy? Is Josh going to, start climbing the walls? Are we going to summon demons?
I won't. I'm probably not to summon demons.
We're going to summon demons.
Oh my God.
It's nighttime.
Welcome to Ouija Board 101, guys.
Dude, we should do that on the podcast. Cool. Get the Ouija board out. Ooh, it's a good idea. Guys, if y'all want to see us do a Ouija board on podcast, on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, if you're listening on Spotify, you can just kind of hear the board going across. I don't really know how to.
Spotify Ouija board sounds. That's funny. You know, it'd be awesome for a night podcast.
Do what?
Ghosts,
dude. We could get our buddy. I won't say names.
Oh yeah.
Just to privacy reasons, but we could get him on. See what he thinks.
That would be.
I don't really know what the setup would be with the sign. He'd have to sit in front of it, or have 2 people. I don't know. It would be a whole thing. We figure it out. We always do.
And also, you guys probably can tell right now that this is not the normal format of our normal episodes where
absolutely not.
We really dive into topics early on. Right now, it's just kind of a chill hangout.
We're just hanging out. Just wanted to come and talk a little bit. Gosh, Josh, tell us about, dude. I heard about what happened yesterday.
So yeah,
dude, this guy's a hero. He saved lives. If you need help, basically the bat signal, then you got this guy. I
appreciate it. No, I was not expecting to talk about this at the very beginning. I knew this was definitely going to be something that we brought up because of how crazy this event was. Basically what happened, I was working at the tennis place we work at, and basically I heard a loud thud. Sounded like a wrecking ball hitting a side of a building or a cannon going off, something along those lines. And I look up and I see a car flying into the air, just like,
jeez,
just zoom. Like I didn't know how it got there.
And I saw the wreckage, man. Like,
you saw it?
I went to go see it. Today.
I'm not over exaggerating.
I saw the gates; they were demolished.
It was nuts. And when I mean flying, I don't mean this car was going off the edge and straight down. This car was flying into the air and landed into a massive lake. And so all of this is happening within 2 seconds, and I'm in the middle of a feeding drill for tennis. And as that happened, I immediately threw my racket to the fence and sprinted faster than I've ever sprinted in my entire life to this car.
Jeffrey needed a little.
Yeah, just give him a little beverage, but
don't know if it's good for cactuses, but
probably not actually. I don't know if we should have done that.
It's okay.
Yeah, he's struggling with
but
that.
Yeah, so the car
was in the middle of the lake, and I'm rushing to this car. Everyone's just watching, like,
you just dropped your lesson. You said,
"Yeah, no,
I'm out of here."
I had to make sure everyone was okay, so I sprinted to this car. I pried open the car door. It's in the middle of the lake, so I'm like halfway submerged in water.
Were your shoes okay?
They're still drying.
They're still drying.
Unfortunately, they're my court shoes that were nice, but I was not thinking about that. I was honestly like expecting to see like maybe a dead body or somebody really injured. And based on the accident, seeing a car flying into the air, landing into a lake, that's going to be bad. And thank goodness.
That's wild that it wasn't anything worse.
I know.
Like
I was kind of prepared, and my adrenaline.
And the fact that you ran, I saw how long that run is. That's like a solid 100 meters that you have to get.
It's like a football field.
Yeah,
at least.
It's like a football field. You got to run all the way down, and just the fact that no one else was doing anything.
They were just watching, like, oh my God, what happened? And someone was in the car, submerged underwater, So I pried open the door. I made sure everything was okay. The lady, or the young girl, was shocked, of course. She had some head trauma for sure. Hit her head pretty hard. But luckily, no broken bones, nothing serious. And the other driver that didn't land in the lake up top, she was okay too. So made sure she got to the land and basically to the land.
The land before time. Dinosaurs.
And she got the cops got there. They took care of everybody, and luckily everybody was safe. But I was a first responder. Is that what they call them?
I guess.
So I was one of the first people there.
You could just say you're a hero, bro.
I don't.
Dude, I'm gonna get you a cape.
Thank you, man.
And a mask.
Man. That actually transitions really well.
You're gonna be called the Ginger Roots.
The what?
The Ginger Roots.
I thought you said the Ginger Groot. I was like, what?
Dude, that'd be kind of sick though.
That would be fire.
Dude, imagine if Groot was ginger.
That would be unfortunate.
I don't really know if I should say that on YouTube, but we're just gonna go with it.
Why can't you say that?
I don't know. Isn't ginger like a slur?
No, it's the one race of people that
no one gives a fuck about.
No one cares about.
Yeah.
There's absolutely because every other group of people, there's people that are like, hey, you can't talk about the people like that. But if you're making fun of gingers, there's no one saying, hey, come on, that's messed up.
That's true. You just have
even gingers.
Gingers, man. The Irish.
Yeah.
Right? Is it the Irish? That are like the gingers, that's the leprechauns, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you're the tallest.
It's the Irish, and then I think what?
So you're the tallest leprechaun I've seen. So,
I'm Superman. That's a leprechaun.
Oh my goodness, saving lives and
oh man,
searching for gold at the end of the rainbow.
Speaking of superheroes,
yes, I guess we can get to our topic. We were gonna talk, I guess, Marvel movies. Kind of the state of them, how they're going, how they started, and I think it's a little bit of a mess right now. I think it's entertaining, right? But I think it's just a mess because Disney is just pumping out movies like a rabbit giving birth, just over and over and over again.
That comparison, though,
right? They're just coming out, and I remember when Iron Man first got released. I want to say it was 2007. Was when Iron Man, or 2007, 2008, when Iron Man got released to kind of kickstart the MCU. Well, really the MCU was kickstarted by Tobey Maguire and Spider-Man.
That's true.
Because that's what showed
that was before
Hollywood
anything,
and the world that superhero movies could be made to be more serious and not just kind of comedic and and fun.
Yeah.
More on the serious scale, you know. Thank goodness for Toby for kind of helping with that. And then Iron Man, they tried with the Incredible Hulk, and that didn't work. They had the first movie, which was just the CGI bomb shitstorm, and then there was what was his name? He was the Hulk at one point. I can't remember his name.
I know who you're talking about.
Or he got fired because he was just such a pain in the butt to work with.
He was the one that was like really angry. It's the Hulk.
He was legitimately just angry all the time on set, and so they didn't want to work with him anymore, and so they fired him and hired Mark Ruffalo. But then Iron Man came out, you know, where they hired a recovering drug addict, Robert Downey Jr., to be able to play Iron Man, and that was like the best decision that they'd ever made.
Yeah.
You know what I've read? I read that the guy that was supposed to play Iron Man was, what's his name? From The Mandalorian, the guy that had Boba Fett's armor.
No way.
Yeah, that guy, the Marshal.
Are you serious?
He was in line to play Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr.
Crazy.
I don't know his name, but I found that out today, actually.
That's crazy. Yeah, Iron Man really shaped Marvel as what we see it today. It started.
It started for sure, but now it's kind of just going all over the place.
Well, what it became was, because you got to admit, this Marvel thing blew up. It was everywhere for the last 20 years.
It's been everywhere since, past
15 years.
Past 15, I mean, 20 years if you want to count Spider-Man, you know, because that was 2001?
2002? Yeah, it was early 2000s.
Yeah, it was early 2000s when that first Spider-Man movie came out, and so everyone was crazy about that. And now, I mean, I feel like when Iron Man first got released, right, it wasn't relatable, but it was believable. Just because, you know, the guy builds a suit.
Yep.
It's very mechanical. It's very, he's an engineer, so he's able to build the suit and he's able to be in it. And sure, the abilities he has are a little far-fetched, kind of Hollywood, of course. But then once they started coming out with like Thor and Captain America, like the Super Soldier Serum,
fantasy.
It started getting a little more on the fantasy side because it was Iron Man going and facing basically the Taliban of the MCU, you know, the 10 Rings. And so like there was a lot of relatableness to it. And now,
especially at the time period without like Al-Qaeda and ISIS and all that stuff. But yeah, you're exactly right.
And now it's like more fantasy, you know, Thor, you have the Hulk, they kind of brought back Captain America with the Super Soldier Serum. I mean, really the most relatable ones. She-Hulk was awful, man. It's such a bad show. The only relatable ones are the useless ones, which are Hawkeye and Black Widow. R.I.P. Black Widow.
Yeah. Yep.
She gone.
Unfortunate.
The guy that can shoot a bow and arrow, and then the girl that can kick you.
Can spin around and slap you in the face.
Slap you.
Sorry.
Straight up the face.
Sorry, that was messed up. She can do more than that. She can pinch you.
You're right, she could pinch you. Dude, bro, she could slap you again. I wouldn't say no. It's okay.
Yeah.
But
yeah, dude. I mean, hey, whatever floats your boat, man.
Dude, it be like that sometimes. Okay.
But yeah, no, like Marvel, you're kind of going down this route. It's kind of gotten to like so watered down.
It's just the same stuff over and over again. It's kind of getting boring.
Yeah.
There are some things that I'm excited for. Like I know you saw Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm excited to see that just because I love James Gunn.
Great. Great
He's done so much. He's taking over the DC universe, and I think he's going to do a really good job with that because I mean he made the Peacemaker show, and I think he helped out with the Harley Quinn cartoon, which was really good. It was funny as hell. And so I'm excited to see what he can bring to the table with. I mean, he made the Suicide Squad also.
Yeah.
And
which one was it? Both or
the
was
second
it the
one?
Second one?
The first one tanked. It was
awful.
awful.
One was terrible.
The second one was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it a lot. And so I'm excited to see what he brings to it. See what he can do to kind of rival Marvel. And but yeah, Marvel's just getting too crazy. They're just kind of putting out shows and TV. I love the TV shows. Honestly, are pretty good. And the movies, I'm not that excited for anymore.
Even the projects they put out that are good, it doesn't excite me anymore for upcoming projects. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like if I know a show is going to be good and it's getting good reviews, and I'll watch it probably. But Marvel, it's all about you have to know everything about every show, every movie to understand what's going on.
Yeah, everything's super interconnected, and that can get kind of annoying.
It is, I get that. And that's why.
I mean, for me, I watch everything, so I know what's going on. I know who's who. I know what's what. But for those that don't have the time for that, then yeah, it does make sense. Especially since they pump out like several shows a year, and so you're just like, oh shoot, like I have to spend all this time. It's not like It's not like we're in the pandemic anymore, where Loki came out and all that, to where we had the time to be able to watch it, but we don't have that time anymore.
100%. Yeah, it's crazy how that's become a thing. With Marvel characters, I kind of wanted to do this real quick. What is if we could draft your top 5 Marvel?
Dude, my top 5?
Yeah.
Just so I don't lose him early on, I'm going to pick Spider-Man.
You're scared of me.
He's my first one. Oh, for sure. Spider-Man. For sure.
That's actually a really good one. Probably the favorite of all Marvel superheroes has to be Spider-Man, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, they've made, Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire got 3 movies, Andrew Garfield got 2, and Tom Holland, they are making a 4th one. So he's about to hold the record for the most solo movies.
Holy crap.
As Spider-Man, because Andrew Garfield was, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man was supposed to have 6 movies.
Yeah,
they're supposed to make 3
I didn't know
more.
6.
3 more. The 4th one was the 4th one was about to go into production, and Tobey Maguire was going through an interview how excited he was, and then literally like 2 days later they canceled it, and they announced that Sony was rebooting Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield.
Oh, that's rough right there. Hey, I'm glad they brought them all back though.
Yeah, me too.
They did No Way Home. They really did.
That was definitely a good way to bring them back. But all right, so I picked Spider-Man. Who are you going for? Are we doing top 5?
Top 5.
Ooh, okay,
and by top 5, we can do top 5 favorites, or just who you think, not best in a fight, but like just most iconic.
Okay, well, I want Spider-Man because he'd be climbing the walls. He could help me get to
He'd run away really quick.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can get the little web shooters.
Yeah.
Like those videos of the guys that like have like something on the table and then it falls and then they catch it and then they're just in the security camps. They're just trying to see if they have spider powers.
Yeah.
All right. What's your 5?
I would have to go. Oh, we're starting at 5?
Yeah, we're starting at 5 and we're going up to 1.
So 1 will be best.
1 will be.
No, we're starting at 1.
We're starting at 1?
Okay. Yeah, and then you go down.
My first, draft. First round draft pick, Spider-Man. Okay. You're up.
Let's do Captain America.
Captain America, the nice boy.
Yep, nice boy. He's got the shield for defense. Defense always wins.
Dude, Captain America don't even exist no more, bro.
Yeah. No, but we're talking like Marvel characters, like iconic. Most iconic.
True. That's true, dude. Now.
Comic books. Who do you think when you think Marvel? You think there's a couple of them. I won't name them yet because I want to steal some.
That's true.
Captain America's up there.
Okay, so all right, my number 2. Can it just be Marvel or does it have to be MCU?
Has to be. Ooh. What do you mean by that?
Because like the X-Men aren't in the MCU yet.
Well, when I think Marvel, I think comics. So X-Men are in comics. So
all right. Deadpool.
As long as it's not DC.
Deadpool for sure.
That's a good one.
Because Merc with a mouth. I need someone to match my energy.
When we're talking Deadpool, we're talking the new movies, or are we talking like the one from the?
No, not X-Men Origins Wolverine.
The Origins.
No, we're talking about comics and the new movies.
When I think Deadpool, when I think like gonna win a fight no matter what, I think of the Origins one. Like that's the first thing that comes to mind for me.
But he died, bro.
Dude, that guy.
Wolverine went.
Yeah, no, but did you see the end credit when his head was moving, like he was like getting healed again?
Yeah,
he can't die.
He can't die, but they retconned that. Ryan Reynolds went back in time.
Dude, that
shot Ryan Reynolds to stop the writing of that movie. So it's
that would have been so good though. I they did a good job with Deadpool after that, but
oh yeah, dude.
I really wish I could have seen where that would have gone. But my 2, I'm gonna go. I'm thinking iconic, so I'm gonna go Hulk. Hulk is my 2.
Bringing that back to the Deadpool thing. Do you know that with Deadpool, that movie X-Men Origins, he did not want he was offered the part to play Deadpool because it was the only way he was ever going to be able to play Deadpool at the time. But he hated the script.
Yeah,
he didn't like how they were creating Deadpool, but he took the part just so that way he could at least say that he was playing Deadpool. But then, several years later, he was finally able to greenlit his
role for the real
his movie. All right, so you picked Hulk, and who's your first one?
Captain America.
That's
Hulk.
right. All right, I'm gonna pick another X-Men. I mean, Deadpool's never really an X-Men; he's X-Force. Wolverine.
Oh, I got two of them. Nice.
Wolverine, two immortals.
Oh, sugar. The Wolverine, that's a good one.
I mean, you have Hulk. Hulk is immortal also,
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, dude. Hulk and Captain America combo is pretty nuts. That's good though. Wolverine, I would even argue Wolverine probably should have gone before Deadpool.
Deadpool got the swords, man. Wolverine got the claws, but Deadpool has a gun.
Yeah, that's true.
He got versatility.
They're both good picks.
Wolverine just slashes and hacks and slashes.
My 3's Iron Man.
Iron Man, that's a good one.
Iron Man.
That's a good one.
Have
you seen Multiverse of Madness?
Yes. That's the one with... Sorry, who's that?
With Doctor Strange?
Yeah.
So my 4th pick is going to be Mr. Fantastic, but not the one that just gets obliterated in like 5 seconds from Multiverse of Madness. He's the smartest man alive. Like, easy.
That's a good one. Dang, your picks are out there for sure. I'm gonna go Thor. I got the starting 4.
You got the starting 4. You're just picking the Avengers.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to see if I can think of anybody like. Sneaky.
Dude, what about Thor? Is it the hair? Do you want the hair?
No, I was thinking like
the smile,
iconic, like comics.
Nah, okay, so like iconic comics.
Yeah.
We're not talking about like Chris Hemsworth.
No.
Okay. My 5th pick. Let's go with. Gosh, who do I want to pick? Oh, you know who I pick? I pick Thanos.
Okay.
I'd go Thanos.
I was kind of thinking like heroes, not the villains route, but we'll count it.
Thanos was a hero, man. He had the right idea, obliterate half of mankind to be able to support the Earth.
You sound like Hitler explaining why.
Dude, Hitler had some points, dude.
Oh my God.
Not really. I mean, he was crazy, but Thanos for sure.
I'm not clipping that.
That's very out of context.
Not clipping that.
But yeah, no, dude, Thanos had some points, man. He had some good points. He
Oh
was trying to. It wasn't like Hitler where he was trying to get rid of like just one race. What is that called again?
Thanos showed equality by trying to kill half of everyone.
Yeah, he just tried to kill half of everybody.
Okay, that's
it wasn't just a specific racial genocide. It was just genocide.
He's not trying to kill all the green people.
It was open, man. I mean, he was living in 2023. He didn't.
I respect that.
He didn't distinguish between different races or species or genders. He was just like, nah, all y'all.
Yeah.
I respect that.
What if he accidentally like killed himself when he snapped? Have you ever thought of that?
Nah. He wouldn't do that.
Well, he's killed half the people. He's like, shit, I got it in that half.
Well, you got to think he's probably like killed half of everybody except for all of my people.
That's racist.
I mean, I don't think that's racist. I think it's more cautious.
What
He's just being cautious. He's like, nah, all my people, they get to live. Let my people go. We're bringing it up to biblical times.
Dude, hell yeah! Shout out Moses.
Oh dang it! I should have picked Hercules. Hercules is and he is a Marvel. He's in the Marvel comics. All the gods are in the Marvel comics. Honestly,
if we're thinking villains too, the first one that came to mind was what was Kang's origin? It was the King Tut.
There was a King Tut version of him,
or King something. It was like an Egyptian.
Yeah, it was something around there.
I think I can't remember his name.
I messed up. Can we pick a 6th pick?
Okay,
cool. We're gonna pick
top
a six
baby.
Top 6. But yeah, no. So go.
I was gonna go. The original Kang, the
original Kang. Dude, I would definitely pick Blade.
Ooh. Dude, all your picks are kind of similar in a way.
Yeah, well,
they all fuck shit up.
They usually cut people up, right? Or they kill vampires. So
you say kill vampires?
That's what Blade does. He kills vampires. He's part vampire.
That's right.
And I would pick Blade. Blade was awesome. And they're rebooting it. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it. The original Blades were so iconic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, technically those were before Iron Man. Those were way before. You know?
Yeah.
But they weren't. I mean, they were Marvel affiliated, but it was kind of off. He wasn't really a superhero. Right? It was more just a movie.
Yeah. Well, I have to pick a 6 now.
Yeah, you have to pick 6 now. Go on.
Let's go. I picked my villain. I mean, part of me wants to say Vision in the comics, dude. That guy.
Vision goes hard for sure.
Big character.
But you got to think about it this way. My boy Thanos, he took out Vision like that, you know?
Dude. Okay, sure. I'll give it to you. Or Galactus would have been a good one.
Dude, you know who you should have picked?
What?
I don't know why. I just think of Deadpool. You've seen the Deadpool movies, right?
Yeah.
Remember Deadpool 2? And it was the dad,
the guy,
like just the normal dude,
regular
that was
guy
just
on
like
the side of the road.
He's like, I'm just bored, you know.
He's like, I saw your flyer.
I saw your flyer, and I was like, why don't you give it a try?
And then the scene of him skydiving and he died.
No, he survives. He
does?
survived. Yeah, he survived.
How did he survive?
I don't know how he survived. He was the only one that survived besides, Deadpool.
Oh, but I thought he got hit by a car or something, right?
Did he get hit by a car?
I'm pretty sure.
I know there was the one guy that got sucked into the wood chipper.
Because he's like, thank goodness, everyone died. You survived though. He's like, yeah, and then I think he gets hit by a car.
Oh, okay.
You remember that?
That makes sense then.
That would have been.
Yeah, I would have picked him too. He would have been number 7.
That's actually a great pick. I can't remember his name, but shout out to No Name.
Dude, I love it how we all pick just dudes.
I mean,
to be honest, the female. I mean, that's DC.
I know.
I mean, what have the female superheroes ever done in Marvel? Black Widow.
Black Widow's the
Captain
one that
Marvel.
came to mind.
Definitely the most boring movie of all the MCU so far.
We got She-Hulk, man. Dude,
She-Hulk was a terrible TV show. Good comic, right? But just like the TV show was so bland, and then they like introduced like Hulk's cousin, and Homeboy looked like he hadn't gotten a haircut ever.
Yeah, I mean,
or he lived out on the reservation.
I just think in the comics, like back when they were being written,
there was
a lot of characters. They weren't really female characters.
No.
When you think superhero back then,
it's more like DC. DC was a lot more female characters.
That's true.
You know,
shout out DC.
I
want to do. So we did our top 6.
Top 6.
Marvel.
Yeah, we added.
We can talk. Do you want to talk a little bit about DC?
We could talk a little bit about DC.
Tiny bit.
You know, I mean, we kind of talked a little bit about it. I was talking about with James Gunn, but
yeah.
All right, what are your opinions on DC? And when I say DC, let's not go comics. Let's go the movies.
Yeah,
let's go the Hollywood route.
Well, first off, the first movie I ever walked out on in a theater was a DC movie.
Which one was it?
It was Justice League. Dude.
I knew it.
I
knew it.
I had never walked out of a theater. I was close a couple times, and then I went with a friend.
Have you seen the Snyder Cut on HBO?
It's amazing. I actually enjoyed it.
That one is.
I enjoyed it.
It's so good, but the one in theaters was so disappointing.
If you watch the non-Snyder Cut, if you watch it again, because a lot of people, when they think Justice League, they know the good one, right?
Yeah.
They've watched the Snyder Cut. They're like, oh, it was a good movie. But don't forget about the original cut.
The original cut was so bad.
It was probably one of the worst.
Joss Whedon. You know, you kind of screwed the pooch on that one.
Like
it was pretty bad.
Bad. The dialogue, the acting, everything. The way they cut the movie, the way they
colored it,
everything about the movie just screamed. Well, a money grab.
Well, because
they did not even try.
Snyder had, he had his family issues going on, and then DC executives were like, "Well, Joss Whedon directed the Avengers, so let's bring him in to direct Justice League," and it just didn't fit their style. It was, he was good at directing Marvel, but Marvel and DC are super different.
They are.
DC's a lot more darker. It's a lot more kind of standoffish, and then you have Marvel, which is
a lot slower paced too. I feel like
a lot slower.
Which isn't a bad thing. I mean, they made it work especially with the Snyder Cut.
I definitely got bored with Batman versus Superman.
That one had some good moments, but yeah, it was bad overall.
It was pretty bad. I mean, like the whole Martha scene where like Superman is talking about like Martha, and then Batman's like, "That's my mom's name also," and then they're just like, "Let's be best friends and go fight the bad guys." Let's go fight Lex Luthor.
What was the movie where, like, I can't remember what it was, but it was Superman standing in a field and he had the mustache?
Oh, that was Justice League.
That was the moment I walked out of the theater.
Yeah,
that's when he was like, "I love you," or what was it? What was the line he said that was so cheesy?
I don't remember.
It was so bad, like, but it was scarred in my head.
That was the movie where they had to like digitally edit his mustache out of every shot because he was filming for Mission Impossible or The Man from Uncle or The Man from Uncle or one of those two movies. Mm-hmm. And so he had to have the mustache on because he didn't want to wear a fake one. Yeah. And it just looked so bad.
There's a line he says where I can't remember what it was, but
if you remember what it is, put it down in the comments.
Yeah, please tell us because it's driving me crazy. But it was so bad, I was like, yeah, I do not know why I'm at the theater.
Yeah, I mean, it was awful. And then they've just had so many just flops recently. I mean, Aquaman, the first one was pretty good. I did enjoy that one. And now Aquaman 2, there are a lot of test screenings going out there and a lot of reports about how people are just walking out and how they just hate it. And wow. You know, and how it's just such a bad movie. And so I don't know what DC's going to do with that. I'm excited for The Flash.
Flash has had
some amazing post-release reviews.
They've also had some problems, though.
Oh, for sure, with Ezra Miller.
With and their lead actor.
His domestic violence and his domestic abuse. But yeah, and then Wonder Woman was good. Wonder Woman 1984 was all right. The second was all right. I did like Pedro Pascal in it.
1984. Did I watch that?
It's the one with Cheetah.
I don't think I ever saw that.
I don't know if you saw it.
Did it come out?
It did.
Wow.
It came out a while ago, man.
Oh my goodness.
And so that one was all right. And DC movies, I mean, like nothing beats. I mean, Tim Burton and like, you know, the original
Man of Steel, man.
The original Batman movies. You know, besides George Clooney, we don't talk about that one. Man of Steel, I mean,
it was good.
I liked it, but I thought it was
come on, Man of Steel. That movie was so good.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of
music was good.
The music was good. The soundtrack was good.
There were parts of it that were not the best, but I think just when you think DC movie, modern DC movie. That's one that comes to mind for sure.
Yeah, I mean, well, because that was one of the first kind of modern DC movies was Man of Steel.
That popped off.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of them, but...
I mean, not really. Not when it comes to the modern, besides, like, the Dark Knight trilogy. But that wasn't included in the DCU. That was just on its own.
Oh.
That was Christopher
so you're
Nolan's
not including any of the other stuff when we're talking DC? I'm talking any DC. Not just
I'm talking about live action. Oh, I'm talking about just the movies itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there weren't really any other ones besides that before that. Besides, like, the Batman movies, Dark Knight trilogy, you know, when it came to DC, Superman was their Iron Man, you know, where it was like, we're going to see how this goes, and then if it goes well, then we're going to keep going. Mm-hmm. And it did well in the theaters, but and so they kept going from that.
But, like, when you think DC, like, you're not thinking, like, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Flash TV show. You're not thinking of that. You're like, for me,
I'm thinking of everything Hollywood's put out, like in the movie market, not the TV shows. I mean, the Flash, Green Arrow, you know, those ones were pretty good. Yeah, they kind of dragged on a little too long. I know if the Flash just recently ended.
My point is the iconic movies from the modern era of DC. I think the Dark Knight series, and I think Man of Steel.
Yeah. I
don't even think Justice League.
I think Man of Steel is the go-getter. Because like I said, because the Dark Knight trilogy was Christopher Nolan's, and that wasn't in any universe. It was just...
It's still DC, though. Right?
Kind of like... I mean, it was still DC, but it wasn't, like, in the DCU. Kind of like how, like, you know, before No Way Home was released, you know, you had, like, Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Spider-Man, but then you had the Sam Raimi trilogy, right? Where that wasn't technically the MCU until they brought him over to the MCU. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
And so, like, I don't count the Spider-Man original trilogy really as an MCU trilogy.
It's still Marvel, though.
It's still Marvel. It's still Marvel.
When I think Marvel, I think Spider-Man original too, as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right, though. When I think DC as well, like, what's your best DC movie of all time?
God, that's really hard. I mean, if I'm gonna say DC.
Not DCU, just any DC.
I'm honestly going to say Joker.
Whoa.
I'm going to say Joker with Joaquin Phoenix.
Really?
Yeah, the one that's like the least DC of all the DC movies.
That's crazy. It's definitely up there for me. Give me your next two if you had to pick.
Probably Joker, and then I would say Birds of Prey.
I never watched that.
It was pretty good.
What's it about?
It's about Harley Quinn.
Oh.
Yeah, it's about Harley Quinn, and like she like gets a group of. It's kind of one of those woke, like, you know, female-led movies, whatever. Kind of like, you know, Ocean's 9 or whatever that movie was. But I mean, it was pretty good. I mean, the writing was pretty good. It was fun. Ewan McGregor was in it, which was kind of cool.
Oh, that's nice.
And I mean, Margot Robbie, you can't go wrong with her, like, whatsoever. And so so probably Birds of Prey. So Joker, Birds of Prey. Actually, you know what? No, I'll make Birds of Prey my third. My second one is Batman.
Batman, as in the original.
With Robert Pattinson.
Wow. Okay, that's a good three. I don't know how I feel about the third pick. I like your first two.
Yeah, it's kind of a jump.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really care for Aquaman. I really didn't. I mean, Man of Steel was good, but I wasn't like super impressed with it. I'm excited for The Flash because they're gonna reshoot scenes from Man of Steel because they're going in like different multiverses. You know, Aquaman, like I said, was all right. Justice League was good, right? The Snyder Cut was good, but it wasn't like, it didn't really stand out to me because part of me was still reflecting on the original cut. Batman vs Superman was just garbage. I didn't like it. I thought it was just kind of, they tried to fit too much into one movie, and it just kind of went to shit there. Wonder Woman, I thought it was always overhyped. You know, good movies, but just overhyped. And I wasn't too excited. The one movie I am excited that DC is releasing is Blue Beetle.
Interesting.
I'm excited about that. You ever heard of Blue Beetle? Yeah, he's like a Latino superhero. But so I always loved the cartoons with him.
That's
Black
cool.
Adam was boring. I was just
love the character.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson. I love the character, but Dwayne the Rock Johnson, R.I.P. him and his career with DC because he got fired.
Really, they fired him?
Yeah, they fired him. And they fired him. He pushed with executives to get Henry Cavill to come back as Superman, and so then Henry Cavill announced that he was coming back, and then like 3 days later, James Gunn told him no. He was like, "No, you're fired." And so then he had to make another announcement saying that he wasn't going to become Superman again, which is why he left The Witcher at first.
Yeah,
you know, on Netflix, and now that he is not having to play Superman, he can't come back as The Witcher, and it's just that's a whole shit show,
dude. That's annoying.
But yeah, I mean, all the other DC movies, just not really that impressed with. You know,
my three: Dark Knight, number one, with what's his name?
Batman Begins, you mean?
No, the original Joker.
Oh, what's the original Batman with Jack Nicholson?
Passed away. No, Dark Knight with the Joker.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about Dark Knight. Okay, I thought you said Dark Knight number one, and I was like, you mean
Dark Knight, and then there's Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, there's Dark Knight. Okay, yeah, with Heath Ledger.
So the first and the two of the Dark Knights. Heath Ledger. That's the name.
Heath Ledger.
I think
that was definitely a great Joker.
It's considered one of the best movies I've ever made.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think
it has to be in my top three, if not the first one. And it's also my favorite one, just because from an acting standpoint, Heath Ledger just carried that movie so hard. It makes you like fall in love with the character because he's like so. It's hard to explain. It's just like he's so crazy that you believe it. You know. And so that has to be my one. Two is really close, but it's The Dark Knight Rises is my two.
See, The Dark Knight Rises, I was bored with that one.
It definitely can be argued.
It kind of dragged out. It just dragged. I mean, I loved the story and I liked it all, but the movie just dragged out.
It's a copy and paste of the one before it, just without Heath Ledger. That's how I see it, kind of.
Yeah.
And Heath Ledger made that second movie, so I can see why people don't like it as much.
Yeah.
But I think Tom Hardy.
Yeah, Tom Hardy played Bane.
Dude, he killed that role.
I mean, he did a good job with Bane.
Killed that role. He wasn't as big as probably what people expected.
Yeah, that was the only thing I didn't like about that. That was one thing I didn't like about that movie was just with Tom Hardy. Or not with Tom Hardy, but with Bane. Bane is a very, like the Joker, that's an easy villain to play.
Kind of like Kingpin.
Yeah.
You have to be someone like massive.
Yeah, but no, well, I mean, like Joker, he's a believable villain, right? Because he's just a psychotic freak that just terrorizes.
Yep.
Very easy. But Bane in the comics, dude, he was like a built dude, but not really that built. And then he would inject himself with venom to get him to grow massively. And so
that's
the fact that they brought him in is just mainly like kind of like a terrorist almost. I was like,
I agree. They could have done him a lot better. Maybe more like on the injection side of things.
Yeah,
make him a little bit more scary there.
Yeah, but they wanted to keep it on the realistic side. But then also in that movie, they had the flying Batwing and like all this stuff that is just way too advanced and unbelievable.
I still think, as from a movie standpoint, it's easily in my top 3, but not really close to my 1. 3 is tough. 3, I mean, Man of Steel came to mind. The original Batman came to mind. Those are the kind of the 2 I'm going. The original Superman as well. I think actually I'm going to put the original Superman
Christopher Reeves
as my 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's kind of what got me into the DC was the original Superman, and it kind of holds up to this day.
Bright red and blue with the yellow logo.
Dude, I remember those classic movie. But yeah, that has to be my top 3. You want to kind of wrap up our pod? Is it been 40 minutes?
It's been 40 minutes. Yeah, it's been a
goodness.
while.
But hey, no.
Thought I got it.
Did you get the bug?
I didn't.
Oh,
it was a mosquito.
Well,
but all right. Well, I guess that's going to be it for the podcast, guys.
Yeah, no, that was fun. We'll hang out sesh.
Definitely, you will see more of this in the future. Thanks for coming out and listening, hanging out with us. What's your favorite drink to have? While you listen to us. All right.
Ooh,
who's your favorite Marvel character? Who's your favorite DC character?
We want to know. Let us know.
Let us know. And be sure to like, follow, subscribe, notification bell, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, wherever you're watching us. And we'll be sure to respond to any comments. And we'd love to get to know y'all.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think we're all done.
Alrighty. Sounds good. Peace out, guys.
Peace out.
Boom.